Welcome back to another video. It's everybody's favorite video, Monday updates. I know y'all are sitting all, tensed up waiting to find out what's going on in y'all's favorite projects, what we're making daily. Right now, we've had some changes. If y'all didn't catch two of my videos over the weekend, part 1 and part 2 of Crypto Talk episode 4, where we discussed kind of what feelings are with the market. I watched a lot of videos and did a lot of research for those videos. And after working countless hours on those videos, I realized I don't think I came across what the hell I wanted to talk about, but it happens. I tried my best. Y'all know I'm not a big TA person, but I try to look at it a little bit differently, try to do some research for y'all, bring that forward. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. We got July 4th coming up. Big time here in the United States. And I will not be enjoying it because on Thursday, July 3rd, I will be having surgery. If you follow my channel for some time now, you'll know that that's been upcoming, putting it off. And after another episode I had last week that put me basically on the ground, I can't put it off no more. So there probably will not be a live Thursday night because I will be jacked up and on painkillers and who knows what else. There's no telling who I say, who I curse out, or what project I go in and talk about. So probably for my own good, I probably won't do any live that night, but I'll try to, if I'm feeling better over the weekend, probably put a couple videos out, and who knows, maybe I'll pop up on a live on a Saturday or Sunday night, depending on how I feel. I'm kind of hard-headed like that. So for those of y'all who are new, welcome. I'm the Grumpy Dad, and my name fits me accordingly. That's what people used to call me at work, at least the grumpy part. And figured it fits. If you are new here, please make sure you subscribe. Have a lot of updates coming up with a lot of projects there. We cover a lot of deep end projects here. For everybody else, please make sure you hit that like button. Y'all know that like button really helps out this video, all the other videos, and helps out all the projects I have tagged below. So a couple of different updates going on with a couple of different other projects. Some new projects y'all going to see on the list that I've been kind of messing with, just so I can cover, because people are asking me. They know I'm messing with new projects. A new one I kind of stumbled upon, and we'll see what's going on from there. So let's get started. Starting off with Bitcoin. Again, I did a video Saturday and Sunday. Crypto Talk BS Sessions, episode 4, part 1 and 2, whatever. We went over a bunch of charts, and I'm not going to really bore y'all with all the chart action. I'm just going to say Bitcoin, since about the 25th of June, has been going sideways. And that's basically all it is. When you zoom out more, you can kind of see where some things lie. Y'all know I like to draw lines, pretend like I know what the hell I'm doing. But I did bring up in the last couple of videos that we do have this trend going. And in one of the videos, I even mentioned how we have to break this right here to the high side of this line, break it good and consistently to get out of this trend we're going on since, actually this right here has been since May 22nd, this trend that has started towards the downward side. This is just a line showing the bottom here and the bottom somewhere else. So if this continues going like this and gets around here, you're hoping you see this break up, or it's going to break down. Who knows? A lot of stuff going on. Trump's got this budget thing going on right now. Big, beautiful, bloated, crazy, whatever budget. Democrats say it's horrible, full of, pork projects for Republicans. Republicans say it's the greatest thing in the world, and water's wet. And if there was a Democrat president in there, the Democrats would say it's the greatest budget ever. Republicans would say it's full of pork, and independents and stuff would say it probably is full of pork. Pet projects. I don't care either way. I'm trying to stay out the whole political thing and just worry about what me and my family can deal with. What can We just worry about ourselves. How about that? We know crypto's worldwide, and I know some people are going to say crypto's worldwide, but let's be honest. There's all what goes on in America affects crypto. What happens in different parts of the world and other countries affects crypto. It's a worldwide phenomenon. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with all that. I don't know. I'm not that. Again, I'm not losing sleep over it. Like, I can't do anything about that stuff. Some people get more riled up about it. Some people leave comments about it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I worry about what I can, deal with. So we'll see. We'll see how any of that affects crypto and everything else. So while I'm not really too concerned with this line that I just kind of said, hey, it's a good place to put a line, I am concerned about this line. Now, if this is people taking profits out to start an alt season, I like this line. But that's not what's happening here. Alts are suffering also. Now, this is AVAX, and AVAX is doing, basically the same type of thing. And that's almost since that same date that we saw Bitcoin doing it. Poor Helium has had it bad also. We know money goes into Ethereum first before it starts an alt season. We got this flag going right now, up, over, and it's basically sideways. And while I will say that there's a little bit of difference where you don't have this straight kind of decline, but you do kind of have a very, very small one. To me, I still consider this sideways. But everybody's still saying that you need to see something with Ethereum before you start this alt season. For those of y'all who are in peak with me, you see this is why I am still continue to work to this day, even though I've been in crypto for 10 years, because I don't know how to pick them. 75 cents all the way down to 7 cents. Now, what I can say is that if we do get some type of recovery on this, some legit projects on peak, and it goes back to 70 cents, we're 10x in money at this point. Y'all know, I tell y'all, my plan as of right now is kind of pivoting a little bit. My plan because y'all asked me, so I'm telling you, again, this is financial advice. This is strictly what I am doing, is from this kind of point on, I just feel like I have plenty of alts, and I just don't know how strong of an alt season we're going to have. So my plan from here is, as I DCA on paydays, I'm basically buying Bitcoin at this point. Ask me again next month, it could possibly change. I am, however, only because of the piss poor decisions I've made thus far, I am going to take a little bit of that money I DCA from every paycheck and continue to buy peak. Why? Because when you buy a token that is way up here at the time, I didn't buy it up here, but I bought it at the 40 and 50 cent level here and here. You want to continue to buy it. If you still have faith it's ever going to do something, you want to buy it down here so that you can get that average cost down. That's the only reason I'm buying it still. At 7 cents, it was at 6 cents not too long ago, earlier today. I'm hoping Pete can get a good project behind it. Silencio's not doing it. We're going to talk about a new project shortly that's supposedly going to be on Peak also. Maybe that helps it out. All right, so we got a lot to talk about with some of these projects, and I'm going to try not to go too deep into them. Yeah, right. My goal is always to keep this video under an hour. I do chapters and stuff like that, so I can try to keep it, easy for y'all to manage through. But let's go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off and get started on it. So just remember, as always, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinions. Y'all ask my opinion, y'all get my opinion. I own almost all the tokens that we talk about. Even though I say I'm not going to sell them right now, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, and I could possibly sell them. So don't forget also, I do have a Discord that goes over all these projects. It's getting pretty busy in there. Y'all come in. I have so many different channels now. I can't even describe them all, between stuff that has no crypto related. I started one about what's for dinner, hoping to kind of post some things we cook. My daughter and I cooked stuffed bell peppers the other day. I wanted to take a video and some pictures of it, and I even forgot to post it. But just trying to keep it a little bit different, that not everything in life is crypto. I know, God forbid, some of y'all won't believe that, but, you know, just trying to keep it real. So let's get started on this. And just remember, when y'all are trying to buy something, some of these projects that we're talking about, these devices, Helium deploy, hotfix.ai, GrumpyDad 56 code normally works. If not, let me know and I can get it added for that project you're trying to buy. And for the price of some of these projects, 10% helps out a lot. So starting off, number one, still number one. Barely holding on to number one, but holding on to number one is Chirp. Our Blackbird miner is making still between 148 to 152 tokens every epoch. Every epoch is 2 days. But when you do get them, you can't do anything with them. They're locked for months. I don't agree with it, because even if you want to stake it, which is benefiting the project, you can't even stake it. And then they want to go on Twitter X and then brag that we have all these participants that are locking tokens. We don't have a choice but to lock the tokens. The Chirp price has had a little bit of decrease since our last video. You're looking at about 7.5 cents right now. It was at a little over. It was 0.088. So a little over 8.5 cents last week at this time. For the month is down 25%, 11 cents to 7 cents. But we saw beginning of this video that majority of stuff is going to be down also. So some of it doesn't reflect the actual project. I don't think Chirp's going anywhere. Chirp did have some tokens that unlocked from our drop that we had a while back, a partial unlocking, because it doesn't all unlock at one time. But from our first KAGE airdrop, or whatever you want to call it, reward drop, those tokens unlocked. We did just have a Chirp KAGE round 3 that just finished, and we're starting round 4 now. Over 1 million data chips were scored. If you among the top 5,000 data hunters are ranked over 5,000, you will see some type of reward from this. Again, y'all know I'm going to complain because that's what y'all come here for. My issue is right now, the reward, since yesterday, they've been saying the round 3 rewards have all been distributed. I don't see that anywhere. I don't see it in my wallet. There's no transaction in my wallet that I receive something on my Chirp wallet or my Sui wallet. And in the Discord itself, when you ask about this, basically they can't tell you. I've asked several times on here, how can I go and ask and see what I got dropped from the Chirp KAGE app? And they're basically saying the only place you can see that is on a list that they will populate on social media, which makes 0 sense. Yeah, so I'm reading on here, and it's basically saying, I see he responded to somebody else, that the only way you're going to see what, look at that. While we're here on this show, here they have more bots, scammers right now in here in this Chirp thing than I've seen. And look, somebody even comments earlier about the same thing. The amount of spam bots is crazy on these servers. So as I was saying, yes, I know I was in the top, I don't know, 100, 200, something like that for Chirp KAGE. I have no idea what I made. No idea. I don't really even notice a big difference in my wallet. So I'm curious to see what the list says that I made for Chirp KAGE. So like I said, I did also was able to free up some KAGE and some Chirp and stuff like that and restake those. I claimed $24 or whatever it was in some staking rewards, which that's been for about a month now. So I made $24 a month, which is almost $1 a day strictly in staking. And 800 got freed up from early rewards. So, according to this, I have a pretty decent amount of Chirp, but I am curious to see what I made in that Chirp KAGE, because y'all know I ran it hard. When I was in New York and stuff like that, I wasn't getting 4 million a day. Like we had this big discussion and people still defending on the Chirp Discord, but I'm not getting all that. It raises my blood pressure too much, and I got to keep it low. So we're going to move on here. Moving on to it's going to be number 2 is GEODNET. Hey, today's the last day to enjoy them rewards, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, the testicle kicker comes in. We have the halving. Halving technically is occurring today. I think it's some certain block, but there's a halving coming. June 30th. Today's June 30th. So I'm just out of, nostalgic reasons, I'm leaving this up right now as number 2. Because technically today, we should make $4 a day in GEO tokens. Price is going down. And I don't know how much of this is people panicking about the halving or anything like that, or if they give to what's about it. Most people with a halving want to hold on as much as they can because it's the whole halving supposed to be a anti, inflation or deflationary thing along with scarcity of the token. We know GEODNET puts liquidity in here. We know they do burning, which is other aspects you need for a halving to improve. But while 6% down today isn't that much, you're down 14, 13%, which was not really too crazy. 17.5 cents to 15 cents in the past week. But it is kind of a trend that we were seeing for a while. We're down 20% for the month. We need GEODNET to hold the line. It's one of our more popular projects that we're in. We know it's got good potential, and we want to see it succeed. So I've never claimed to be a blockchain or tokenomics expert at all. Y'all don't come to me for that. But I'll still say there's a timing, whether it should have been written in a white paper, common sense, or anything like that, when you're still trying to build a project. Every year, especially this year, is too early. It's too soon. And I understand what they're saying right here of why this halving supposed to be so great. But there have been tokens out there that have not improved because of halvings. There have been some tokens that have improved. One of Helium's halvings they had, not the previous halving, but the halving before that, we saw a very good increase in token price. We also saw in the last halving, which I think was last August with Helium, the prices continue to go downwards. So I understand it's not Helium. I'm not trying to compare it directly one for one with Helium. I'm just trying to tell you there are times people see this and just automatically think their GEO tokens are going to start being worth more. It's not always. It's not always. You still have to have liquidity going into it. You have to have a scarcity where people want GEO. There weren't hardly any deep in projects back then. People can buy Helium 3 years ago and cause that scarcity. I don't know how much of a incentive there is, if that makes sense, a rush there is to buy GEO tokens. And if you don't have that, you're not going to have scarcity. That's just about as basic as it can get. I just think it's too soon. You're going to go from $4 a day to $2 a day. And that means if you want to buy a $700 miner, and if you use Grumpy's code, you're getting $65 off or $70 off, but here and there, you're still looking at 320, 350, 370 days to ROI. If it holds the line of what it is right now. If we continue going down, it's going to be worse. Hey, if we go into alt season towards the end of the year, like I did a video on a couple of days ago, it might work out a little bit better for you. But how much? We don't know. That's the decision that you're going to have to do your research on and figure out. Look, I have 2 other, I said this in my video again Saturday, Sunday night. I'm sorry to keep referencing it, but I put a little bit of time and effort into those videos. I have 2 locations now that would be ideal GEOD spots on top of 2 buildings. 2 completely different hexes. I'm not putting that money into it. Call me cheap, call me whatever you want to call me. I don't have to have the GEOD system around me. I'm not using it. So it's not like the whole, in it for the tech type thing. I'm not spending $700 on a device that's going to take me 350 days to ROI on it. That's just me. Some of y'all, there are some of y'all here who have this 1 year timeline that says, hey, as long as I can ROI 1 year, I'm good. That's on you. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're expecting that, if you're expecting a 365-day ROI and you get it in 350, hey, you're 15 days ahead of schedule. Congratulations. Just from people making comments in my Discord and other Discords, GEODNET's Discord, I know they have more people who kind of feel the way I feel. This is too soon. What's wrong with going with it every other year, like Helium, every other year having? But I'm sure we would all be complaining then too. All right, now that we beat that dead horse, let's move on to number 3. Here is entropy, as I call it, or entropy. And, you know, this one's not necessarily the project that needs a swift kick in the testicles, like GEODNET. This is some of the people involved in the project need a quick, swift kick in the testicles. As you can see today, we started having some very excellent, sexy price action, and it just took some great greedy mofos to kill it. I'm hoping whoever this is got banned. They should be completely deleted out the project. You finally see some positive price action, and you got to be greedy when you're in a project that's not known for selling, doesn't really want you to sell, and you got to do this, and you're an a-hole. So yeah, somebody sold over $1,000 worth of entropy. The wallet says it's only been on for 4 days now, so I don't know if that's somebody who bought it and is sold or something when it reached a certain amount. We are down to about 69,000 tokens per day that we are mining, which ends up being about $4 a day. And you know, we were doing 20 at one point, then 15, then 12, then 10, and I know in the past, despite what some people want to argue with me about, boards were adjusted a little bit to try to help out. I'm hoping that would happen again. But as of right now, we're at where we're at. I am planning on doing a kind of a bigger video either tonight or tomorrow. I have 2 or 3 videos I really need to get done. Time crunching, but one that is a time crunching video that I need to really get done is going to be Entropy is opening back up pre-mint. For those of us who are in this now, they are going to open this up again. It's called the post pre-mint. No, it had to be something silly. But basically, they are setting up their NFTs for people to buy to get into the project. But for those of us who are in it, who are in good graces still, there will be another pre-mint if you're interested in purchasing more of these. I know there was a good amount sold, but what's good with this project is whatever you buy, that does not hurt you as far as the Jeter deleter goes or burning or anything like that. You are allowed to buy the mining NFT with your ENT. So technically, you're not out of pocket. Yes, you're losing your ENT, but technically that's nothing. And I just feel like since I've never actually held that, cashed in or anything like that, it's not hurting you. You're not taking as much of a chance or that concerned with the ROI because you're getting to use your ENT that you mined. So eligible miners allocations are equal to the whole amount of ENT divided by, because this is what it's going to cost. The cost is 2.4 million ENT. 2 million goes to the multi-sig. 400,000 are burned. 20,000 pays for the mint fee. So go check this out again. I'm not going to get real deep into it on this video, but just know that this is starting tomorrow, Tuesday, depending on when I get this video out. All right, moving on so we don't take as long with this video. It's going to be ROVR. I am in the ROVR project now. It is very hard to figure out exactly what I am making with this because I drive different distances every day. So you're getting 1.6 entropy for every kilometer that you drive. And you're getting 1.6 ROVR for every kilometer that you drive. So for me, I just figured it out again. Me strictly driving back and forth to work. That's it. If I don't go And I'm always going somewhere during the day. I got to go check on a camera somewhere. I got to go to somebody's building, check on something IT related, radio related, RF related, to go to one of my towers. There's always somewhere I'm going throughout the day. But strictly work, home to work, from work back to home, that right there is enough kilometers where I'm making $2 a day. Now that's at, again, 1.6 rovers per kilometer at the current price of 1 cent, basically. That's what I figured out. The price is kind of going down, but again, I really want to get that involved in because this is still a fairly new project in my eyes. The big light cone is not even out yet, but if you want to use those same numbers, so with a light cone, I'll be making close to $12 a day. Now, again, that device is a significantly more amount of money, but just so you can kind of get an idea of where we stand at. I will say that Rover will take a licking and keep on ticking. That kind of ages myself with an old Rolex commercial, but that USB that plugs into my USB thing, it got hit. It is all jacked up. Every now and then starting to lose connection. I don't know if I'm going to try to return it since I received it from Helium Deploy or contact the Rover people on it. But as of right now, it's working, so I haven't really messed with it. So that is Rover. Remember, if you are interested in Rover, you can use my code at Helium Deploy, which has been pasted all over the place, GWOD56, and you can get a discount on that. The Rover itself is taking pre-orders if you want this. I'll tell you, this thing is big. I want everybody to kind of understand that. This light cone, and it's about a little over $4,000. But they have already sold out previous to them. There's a very limited stock available, so you can reserve one now on the Rover if you go to the announcements on the Discord and check that out. And they are talking about they've got a fleet management option coming soon. So next on our board is NATIX. Now with NATIX, I don't know what the reward's going to be. We're just finishing up June right now. So come, July 1 or 2, we should get our rewards for NATIX. I'm ranked about the same thing again. I'm consistently always around these 240, 250, 260 ranking. So we'll see what happens and see how many tokens I get. But when you're looking at this price has been a kind of a slow bleed for some time now. We had a good jump, a while back that, we're getting kind of excited about. You can see it right here. We went down from 0.0006 cents to 0.0018 cents. So we ate a zero, went up some more, and we're coming down again. Down 16% for the week, down 40% for the month. Whatever they did before they get this fixed, please do it again. That's all I can say. So that has also kind of reduced their price some. And one of the good things about NATIX is it is one of our free projects that doesn't cost you anything. If you have an old phone you can tether the connection off of another connection, what I'm saying, that's what I do. But I just had to redo the pricing because the price is dropping. So you're at about 83 cents right now. But again, this is a free project. 83 cents seems worthwhile to you a day. That is me taking all those tokens for the month, divide them by 30, average about 83 cents. I am curious to see what I get for this month. I don't know. So when that drops, there'll be a updated video for that. Moving on to number 6 is going to be Earnapp. Now, I did several videos on Earnapp, trying to tell y'all, wake up, smell the coffee on this one, because I think a lot of y'all are missing out, especially if you're running any other type of device in your house, like Pis that have client or anything like that, or computers, especially on other networks. Basically the same thing, Grass or Earnapp or Honeygain, but not Earnapp, Pawns. But you're missing out, because this right now is the best rewarding one. I still haven't really determined why some pay more than others. It ain't got nothing to do with speed, because I'm on several different type connections. All I'm gonna tell you is, while I was on my trip last week, or week before last in New York, I cashed out $200. It took 5 working days, but it went straight to my PayPal account. Then I can easily move that over to my checking account. You can also put it on the Amazon card if you just want to use it at Amazon, which we all use in Amazon basically as it is, or they got a couple different options. But again, what's crazy is I cashed this out. I'm gonna say it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in 12 days, and I'm back up to $60. So right now, if I wanted, I can do $60. And again, now I have 7 to 8 machines on this. I'm gonna tell you, even like my Wingbits devices that are on a separate network I pay for, that are running a DIY device. So it's a Raspberry Pi or a little potato running, Raspbian or one of these flavors like that with a client. You can go on here and install this on that. But you can install it on right here. You can put it on Raspbian. It's going to give you a code you can run. And that's what I'm running it on. So again, if you have a device, you can put this on, especially if you're already running some of these other ones. Put Earnapp, not financial advice, of course, but again, there's no crypto related. You don't have to worry about prices and tokens going up and down and that kind of stuff like that. Please, please, please use my code that's in the description below. It helps you out to start off. It helps me out by referring somebody, and I really appreciate it. But again, some countries, I'll tell you the rest, some countries don't get paid as much. Some get paid more. It all has to do with some kind of connections. You can't use a VPN, kind of the same restrictions you have for some of these other projects. So that's Earnapp. WeatherXM, my station is still down right now. Dealing with customer service is a pain in the butt because I don't know what kind of hours they work, but they always get back to me overnight, which then next morning I don't have time to deal with it, or I'm not ready for it, or I forget about it. And just today I was working on it again. I'm getting a red light underneath it. I can reset it. The red light goes out, comes back on, put new batteries in it, and I cannot get it to connect to my M5 device. I've about had enough dealing with it. Luckily, I have the second one here at the house, but that means I never ROI'd on my first one. And y'all know how I feel about that. I was concerned from day one with how well this thing was built, and I'm basically dealing with that now. So at least we do have some positives. 7 days, we haven't moved in price. Technically, we had a slight, very, very slight, very, very slight increase. We'll take it. But we holding at 21 cents. So that's good for them. In the Discord, there is a way now that you can do a verification type thing and get a verified role if you're interested in that. And go check it out. All right, moving on to our next one. Our next one's going to be Helium. Helium's the same old deal. Price is not really recovering or anything like that. I still have 19 stations online, averaging about 30 cents a day. It's the same old with Helium, the OG. I still say the same complaint that I've said for countless times, just to regurgitate it to y'all, but I didn't really realize it until I did my video over the weekend that I keep referring back to. But basically, we were getting, 20 to 15 to 10 HNT a day when it was 25,000 tokens. Then eventually we go up to 900,000 tokens and rewards get drastically slashed. Now you're down. Last I saw numbers was between 320,000 stations back online, if that now. But yet our rewards have not gone up. Not that I'm expecting 10 or 15 a day. And I know we've had halving since then and stuff, but still 0.3 a day. Like that's 30 cents. So it's like 0.1 or 0.2 HNT a day, maybe. It sucks. And again, I keep them online. You get people who get mad at some of these projects, like, I'm unplugging my stuff. What are you solving by that? I paid for these devices. 1 or 2 of them I'm paying for some type of network connection, but now with all these other projects I'm in, I'm sharing that same thing with a lot of other projects, so I'm not as concerned. Where in the past, I did disconnect some of these Helium devices because I was spending more for a monthly $20 HNT. I was paying more for a $20 internet connection on a building rooftop than I was for I was getting returns. It makes no sense. So, hopefully Helium can get this stuff together. For those who caught my video last Thursday and those videos over the weekend, y'all know I finally got around to polishing off my Grumpy's rules of crypto and life. But basically, Helium, I just want to, I could just call this number 8 Helium rule. Project can be a success, but rewards suck for miner. Helium. That project is a success. Y'all can say what y'all want. Y'all can tell me I'm wrong, whatever. But that network has been up for 5 years now. That DIMO's running on and WeatherXM's running on and several other projects are running on. That network is a success. You have cell phones on them now. Wi-Fi connectivity. That is a success. The rewards absolutely suck. But this is Grumpy's rule. And you have a couple of several other ones too, but all right, moving on, trying to get some of this done. Silencio is another one. We're not going to know what's going on until we can open up those raffle tickets, and you can darn well guarantee there will be a video of me live opening my raffle tickets so y'all can hear all of my pleasantly happy comments every time I open up a box of raffle tickets. This raffle ticket thing was a cool idea to begin with. It is absolutely a horrible, catastrophic catastrophe. I don't know how else to say it. It sucks. It's no transparency. You have no idea. People who have less raffle tickets than you are getting more. People that have way more raffle tickets than you are getting less than what I'm getting. It makes zero sense. I don't like it because it's not a one-for-one type thing. And they've just been accused of a lot of gaming type of stuff, which we have no way of backing that up. So that's why I don't like to say it too much, but it is a little peculiar. So Silencio's got basically 2 announcements since our last video we did. One is they are starting the Silencio sound check. I'm just really reading this for the first time, and not much fanfare because I haven't heard about it until just now. But I'll check it out. You know me. I'll try to check it out and report it back to y'all what I think or what I'm hearing from some of my people. But Chrome extension, you can do real world net right at Airbnb's, Booking.com, Google Maps, or whatever. Soft launch before we go public. You get it first. Download this extension. Try it across a few travel sites. Blah blah blah. So does this mean that they actually have been selling this data or giving it away to some of these websites? Because that's the only way they're going to get it on there. So I'm very curious to know that. Also, there's this Silencio trading campaign live on KuCoin. You can check that out and get some daily rewards from that also. So that's 2 things Silencio does have going on for them. So we'll see. I'm eager again to see what I get in this month's raffle tickets. I'll report it back to y'all. Moving on to Soarchain. Soarchain is piss poor, horrible. The staking, I'll continue to say the same thing. I'm sorry I keep sounding like a broken record, but nothing's changing for me to say anything. I watched when I was driving 20 hours, 2 days, 10 hours, both days, to Washington, D.C., New York, Philadelphia, and back home. My Soarchain was connected the whole time. Being connected to your Soarchain, whatever it's called this week, Motus, or just T-Soar, whatever the little device is called, Soarchain Mini, sucks. It sucks. But I'm making triple on an average day, triple with the staking than I am with the actual being connected. It makes no effing sense. I'm just checking it right now for the first time. So I was connected going to work today, going back to work today and stuff like that. I made 13 SOAR, which basically means today I made 5 cents. 5 cents. That's worse than DIMO. 5 cents. Look at it right here in the bottom. For 7 days, price went up a tad. But what I will tell you is, when you look at what I made for staking, in 3 days, I've made 164 just from the staking side of it. And when you look at that, that is about 54 tokens from the staking. That's 21 cents. Now, no, we're not breaking the bank. Y'all don't laugh at me. But what I'm trying to tell you is, it doesn't even pay for me to worry about even connecting my device anymore. I just keep staking. And then all I do is every 3 or 4 days is stake all those rewards and just keep on compounding on those staking rewards, hoping that this price goes up. So this, I keep saying the staking has some very, very good rewards. I have a staking multiplier of 1.74. I hope that that's not what's included in that 11, 13 tokens or whatever I got from riding around today. That's horrible, horrible. And now, at least now, you know you're staying connected because I'm also doing the camera. And when you do the camera, it shows on the bottom if you're staying connected, which I've been staying connected. So it ain't like it's accidentally disconnected. And don't get me wrong, it does disconnect way too much, but it also reconnects in a couple of seconds. But at least now you can observe it. But right now I have 308,000 DSOR tokens, which is for the camera, driven 6,380 miles. Now, we have no idea what those DSOR tokens are going to be worth. If I know this goofy project, they'll probably give me like a 0.60% of those tokens, which will slash those in half, and probably not worth hardly anything. That seems to be a lot of tokens. But who knows? We'll see. So that's Soarchain. ERWIN's another one of our ESP32 projects. Price is slowly going down. I'm not gonna spend that much time on it. Cat in the box type of thing. Luckily, if you're in the Discord, in the general, Who Farted keeps us updated when it's time to recharge that ESP32 device through their Discord. I think it's a gimmick thing. I think it's getting old. But hey, the more people forget about it, the better rewards go up. We're averaging about 10 tokens a week. Some boxes get burned. You don't get no tokens, especially if people are selling. Or people don't sell. Those boxes get open and everybody splits the rewards. So at about 9 cents per token, we're averaging about 14 cents a day. I think I had 21 tokens in the last 2 weeks. So when they divide it up, it's about 10 tokens a day. Now it could go up a little bit or down a little bit depending on how many boxes get burned. But that's what we're averaging right now. Grass price, you're looking at $1.02 right now. This is a project whose price is all over the place. I keep telling y'all, this is, of all my projects, this is the hardest project to read because, just like I said earlier with Bitcoin, when it zigs, it zags. This one's even got zigzags with it, or zigzags with stuff rolled in the zigzag rolling paper. It's absolutely crazy, and it makes 0 sense. But you know, this guy right here, he kind of covers it really without me saying it, because I don't want to say it because I'm getting in trouble. But he's right. Like, even he says, you don't hear from them. There's no news. There's no marketing. You don't hear anything about this project at all. But the pricing on it is just absolutely just crazy. You know, at one point we're back up to $2. I don't know. It's this is for the month. See, down 44% in the month again. You look at it for the past year. You know, one time we were at $3 and $4. I'm wondering. This is just me spitballing here. I have no idea what's going on with this project, but I'm also wondering if some of this selling at the end was when Epoch 9 started and people have had enough. How this project just keeps, we all thought Epoch 8 would be the end because last time was Epoch 8, even though they said you can't go by that. But the problem is, with no communication, nobody knows when these epochs are going to end and when rewards are coming. And if this project stays at the same communication level it did before, what's going to happen is at the end of Epoch 9, people can be holding their breath on if rewards are coming or if Epoch 10 is going to start. And knowing this project, they can come out and say, hey, tomorrow we're finally dropping rewards with no lead up to that. That's how this project is. It's got hundreds of thousands of participants. It's wild. It's wild. Again, if you're doing those other projects we talked about, the Earnapps and the Honeygains and those kind of apps like that, you should be running grass also. Especially if you can get a couple of referrals underneath you. You know, you can do well. some people complain about the rewards, but I'm going to tell you, my rewards last November, which is the last time they dropped. How a project's supposed to be successful when it drops once a year, I don't know. I know I say it every video, but I'm going to continue to say it every video. But I did well with the once a year drop. I had over $1,000 worth of the once a year drop. Now, when you take a year's worth and divide it by 12 months, divided by all those days, 365 days, I don't know what it ended up with. But I don't know. Grass is just keeps me scratching my head constantly. So you got right here where we started the Epoch 9 on June 26th, and they're saying Epoch 9 will definitely last at the very least 27 days. At the very least. I'm sorry, July 27th. And what happens after this? Nobody knows. We don't know if it's going to Epoch 10. We don't know if there's going to be a bonus epoch or if they're going to give out rewards. When you go back to stage 1, what we had last year, I'm sorry, we only had 7 epochs and then a bonus epoch. Then you had the network launch. Again, that lasted 162 days. But still, I think maybe what happened was, this is just me spitballing, I don't know. You can't get no information from Discord. There's nobody in the Discord from the project. It's just a wild, wild west. It's been like that forever. I don't know. I don't know if people just got pissed off because there was another epoch, and when this started, people started selling and said, screw this. I mean, June 26th is kind of where that sell-off started. Is June 26th. People started the epoch. Maybe that's what started the sell-off. I don't know. You know, there's nobody in here answering questions at all other than the bot. And basically, when everybody's asking what's going on, the bot's even trained to say they're more about the progress of development rather than hearing a set time frame, which I think is absolute BS, because just like every other project, if you don't keep your miners happy and they start leaving, what kind of project do you have? Not that I suggest holding projects hostage, but still. So they're trying to develop this Grass mobile app. From what I understand, it's an Android app, and it's supposed to be under some kind of secret testing where some people did get it leaked to them so they could test it out. I don't know what's going on. They have Grass hardware. For those who haven't seen my announcement about that, but there is a Grass hardware where you can get on the reserve for a grasshopper list. As usual with this project, there is zero communication about it other than, hey, you can come reserve this thing. Nobody knows what the hell it's for. Nobody knows if this is just going to be for, hey, is this just going to be for people who don't want to actually put a pie at their house? This can be a plug and play. Nobody knows, because this project sucks at communications. Your guess is as good as mine. I've seen people guess. Kind of what I'm guessing is that it's just going to be a plug and play device. Some people have said it's supposed to give bonus rewards if you're using their device. Some people speculating at the price. There's been no official announcement on any of that. So just don't listen to all that stuff until you see something about that in the Discord, which we haven't seen yet. Moving on. Number 11, Honeygain pawns. You know, it just runs in the background. Anything I have grass running on, Honeygain's pawns and Earnapp. I've told you others 100 times. Runs all that. Next is DIMO. I don't know if I have the energy left for this one, but DIMO's slow bleed on their price is continuing. You're looking at about 4 cents right now, which is down 17% in the last 7 days. And while that doesn't seem that much, but when you back up, you're down 31% for the month, and you're down 71% for the year. And that's even more than low. It's even more lower than that, if that makes sense. Because at one point you were at 25 cents and you're down to 5 cents now. There's nothing I can say about this that we haven't said already. Yeah, people still arguing in the Discord about, you know, they didn't see anything about subscription. We passed that point. I did do a pretty thorough video. I was kind of proud of myself. A big thorough video, because they came out with a new announcement June 26th that they rethought about these subscriptions, and they have kind of amended them a little bit. I did a video on it. I don't think people watched it. People just made comments on the bottom about this ain't going to work, this ain't going to work. I don't think they realized that this was a new announcement, because I put in the title and the thumbnail, new announcements about subscriptions. I think people thought that was the original announcement about subscriptions. No, this has new updated pricing. Now, we're going to talk about this in a minute, because that's the only thing I can really apply myself to is what the macarons are doing. But basically, they have decided, without going completely detailed about the video, about the subscriptions, without going to get into too deep again, because like I said, I did cover that on the video. Basically, I'm trying to keep notes so I can make sure I attach that at the back, at the end. But they're split off. Several people, I would say 80 to 90%, this is just Grumpy's estimation, but just from what I'm seeing on the X, and we know the loudmouths get the most attention, but just from seeing on the X and the Discord, 80 to 90% of the people don't use this for what DIMO thinks they're using it for. We're not going on there to see the telemetry of our vehicles. I showed in the video the other day, out of 5 of these devices, I get telemetry decently off of 1 out of my, so the 5 devices. Why in the hell would I pay for a subscription for that? Now, I am going to say again, because somebody called me out in their Discord, you're right. I don't have to worry about this for another 17 months. I bought my devices 19 months ago, 18, 19 months ago. I haven't ROI'd. I know y'all sick of hearing me say it, but I'm going to continue to say it. $89 device, have not ROI'd. Also, so I bought that 18 months ago, 18 months ago, so I should have 17, 18 months left of my subscription for the macaron. When your macaron subscription started, you're going to have to figure out your own self of when you bought it. But basically, if you don't want the telemetry, you just want to plug it in and make some DIMO every now and then, that will be the limited subscription for you. If you want all the telemetry with all the features, then you want the pro features. In other words, you're okay with the fact that you'll be probably paying more for a subscription unless there's a huge drastic change. Talk about that in a second. But unless there's a huge drastic change, current non-Tesla wire connections, this is going to affect a lot of y'all. I didn't realize how many people are doing this, but from what I'm reading, even today in the Discord, there's over 100,000 non-Tesla wireless connections, meaning they do not have a DIMO dongle of any type. Basically, they went into gm.com, took their information, linked it with DIMO, and were making DIMO like that. Those are all 100% getting disconnected. You don't have a choice. You can't pay for subscription. Those are getting disconnected because they're not getting hardly any useful information out of that. My point of saying that is they have several people who believe that when that happens, July 16th or so, the next July Monday, which I believe is the 21st, if I get my computer mouse to work right. Let's see, the 21st, you should see a significant increase in rewards, because now those 100,000 accounts are no longer getting DIMO. I have to see it to believe it, because just like I said with Helium earlier, we all expected some kind of huge jump from Helium when all these devices went offline, and we didn't see that. I'm also wondering if people are going to realize, hey, I'm no longer getting stuff, and they're going to dump the hell out the coin, which is going to drive the price lower. So yes, you may see a increase in your rewards, but if you see a decrease in, right now, if you're here, if you see an increase in rewards, but you see a decrease in your price, you're still going to average the same thing. We'll have to see. August 1st, people who need subscriptions, we're going to see those people cancel out. Those rewards should go up a little bit from that. But again, are those people going to dump? Some of these people staked for 2 years. We go back to Grumpy's rules of crypto. And number 9, you don't stake for anything longer than 6 months in crypto. It's way too volatile. I don't care what the added rewards are. It's not worth it. Hence, right now, people cannot unlock their DIMO. They're stuck in there for 2 years or another year and a half. So let that be a lesson for all. Another thing that they announced, we'll have to see how it goes, is DIMO's new triple burn. They have a triple burn version. And again, I don't want to get deep in all this because I went over this in my video. Y'all check my video if you want to see it. But there'll also be a official broker that will sell bulk data, and we're supposed to get some kind of added rewards for that. We'll see how that goes. One of the levels, because you can't keep it connected to your account. So my newer Macaron is down to literally 11 cents a day, even though it's got a couple of week streak on it. And my level 8, which is the maximum one, has been connected for over a year, different staking and everything, is down to 17 cents a day right now. So this really needs to be lower, but I'm already here, so I'll change it. Either way, like I said earlier, same old rhetoric, same old from me. I've been in this project now for 18 months, and I have not ROI'd yet on an $89 device. Also, if you do have an account where it was connected online and it's going to be getting cut off soon, they do have a deal for you if you want one of their LTE R1s, giving you maybe a year subscription or something like that with a discount. You might want to go check that out. The announcements, there's a form you need to fill out, and you can do that. Testnet, we're still in Wingbits. I do want to address this because some people have asked me why I have not addressed it, because depending on who you listen to, this does not affect a large amount of stations, but there's a very small amount of stations. But hey, if this is affecting your station, you don't care how freaking small it is. It's affecting your station. There are several stations made by HiFix. I'm thinking it's MGW310s, but it could be affecting both WB200s and MGW310s. But I know it's for a fact it's affecting MGW310s. Some people reporting after heavy rainstorms, at least that's what they told me at one point, their devices are no longer really picking up messages. They're losing about 90% of messages, which means they're losing about 90% rewards, if not more. HiFix is aware of it. Tickets have been made. Wingbits is on HiFix's ass. HiFix, at least from what I'm reading in the Discord, HiFix is dragging their ass on it. That's just coming from the people who have reported it because they're not hearing anything from HiFix. So hopefully HiFix can get this resolved, whether it's an LNA problem getting wet on the inside, because everybody's reporting this happened after a rainstorm. Is it a gasket that's swelling up and then getting smaller and then back and forth and allowing moisture in? I don't know. There's been really no talk about it. They just know that when people start reporting this, they're asking, hey, did you had a heavy rain? And they're like, oh yeah, actually, this did start after heavy rain. I looked at mine before I put it up, and I tell you, mine's in some harsh areas. Mine is on the Gulf of Mexico, literally 10 feet from the Gulf of Mexico. I've showed y'all pictures of it. Salt water is very harsh. We're going to see how this thing holds out. I guarantee when I go grab this thing, the next time I go down there, or in a couple of months or something like that, I'm probably going to have to move it in, say, October, when fishing season's over with, to another spot down there. We're going to see how good this thing holds up. But I will tell you, they've had some nasty weather down here in the last 2-3 weeks. We've had some nasty weather here, nasty weather down there. And knock on wood, please don't let me find this thing broken tomorrow. Knock on wood, I'm still ticking with no problem. So this is my WB200 that's down in Grand Isle, getting about 65, 70 hexes. This is we're 9 o'clock at night right now. You can see the aircraft coming in, how far out it's getting. I don't know the exact mileage. I don't want to lie to you, but it's reaching out some. So my WB200, knock on wood, is still pumping them out. One thing I have to learn with this project is you have to keep up with the change log. Listen, y'all know I don't agree with everything. And Wingbits is one of my biggest supported projects right now. Of all the projects I'm in right now, there's no secret. GWOD YouTube channel and Wingbits go hand in hand. Even though I'm not technically affiliated with them. Y'all stick around here for 5 minutes, y'all know that. I'm huge in this project. But I'm still going to critique them. And they know that. But just put all my changes in one spot. Because I can't tell you how many times I missed some good updates from this that they're working on, and it's in changelog and not in announcements. So make sure you check in changelog. Sometimes I wonder if Mike does this just to screw with me, but I know better. But there are some decent. A lot of people ask for this right here, so y'all might want to go check this. It's not active yet, but they're preparing for an LTE type support. Now, I don't think, because I made a mistake of saying this, I don't think it's going to be as plug and play like some people have said, where, oh, I just got to go put a SIM card in here and now I'm going to be online. No, sir. No, sirree, Bob. No. It's going to be a little bit more than that of what you're going to have to put in this device to get it to work on LTE. But I tell you, I think it's a wonderful idea. Wonderful idea. I love it. I love it, especially if you can somehow pair this up with some of these cellular companies we know about. I know T-Mobile had like this cheap $5, $10 plan somebody was telling us about if you provided your own device. Well, here's my own device. If I can get some type of plan for $5 or $10 and not have to worry about keeping Wi-Fi connected to this thing, I'm all over it. All over it. So I'm gonna tell you, if we had any idea of what I like this WB2. Let me back up. I like this WB200 so much. They have one or two of my DIY devices that I'm continuously having issues with, where I have to reboot it, redo the card, and I just don't even want to even mess with buying another Pi or La Potato. If I kind of had an idea of what these rewards are going to be, I probably would buy me another WB200, especially with this one aspect. This will be true plug and play. I just have to now, you realize how much, think about this. You call up a buddy that lives in, we're going to use a word like, a town like, say, Chugwater, Wyoming. You call your buddy in Chugwater, Wyoming that don't know about crypto and say, I need to take this device, and you have no idea what this device is, but I need you to go plug this into your home internet and stick it outside. They might be a little wary about that. But if I hook it up with LTE and I just say, hey, all I need you to go do is take this device and take this 110 plug and plug it in, and you ain't got to worry about nothing else, I think that's going to bring hosting to a whole new altitude. No pun intended. I love it. Love it. I hope they get this working soon. So, they got a theoretical range outline. I have not played with that. I'm not going to lie to you. Upgrade online, LTE on and off. Y'all can go read this. I don't have to read it all to you. The only thing I want to see at some point is right now, just like just now, and I showed y'all my Wingbits. I have to go into Wingbits and look at that kind of map to figure out what it's doing. I can't remotely get into it. I can't remotely see a TAR in the 1090 screen. My other devices that I have out there hosted to people, well, those can go through Tailscale, and I can remotely get into that. I can't put Tailscale in this device. So I wish they would either allow like a Tailscale type thing or some way of remotely getting into that device so I can see my TAR 1090 and my graphs 1090, because it's killing me not being able to see that on my WB 200, because I want to be able to adjust my gain. I don't trust auto gain. I understand from some people auto gain on this device works a lot better, but the problem is when they got in Grand Isle a lot of Monday mornings looks like mosquitoes, the amount of helicopters going offshore bringing people back and forth, or oil rigs and stuff like that. The problem with auto gain was when those helicopters get close, it's really dropping that auto gain down, and I'm losing too much range. Where me manually putting and I'm not putting up to max, 42, 44, 46, somewhere around there. I'm still getting my close helicopters, but I'm getting my range way 250, 300 miles out in the Gulf. But I still want to be able to adjust it to what I want. And I can't do that remotely. I can't change the range remotely. I can't change I can't look at the graphs remotely. So on the WB200s and the 310s, I wish there was a way, and I'm sure they might be working on it. But we'll see. All right, moving on, because we're getting late. 9:50 already. 375 AI, there's been no movement on this project, but it is moving. If that even makes sense to y'all. I know that, let's see, they got community news, poker news, and stuff like that. Nothing, but I'm still running it. I can't even tell you how many day streak I'm on or anything like that, because at one point it reset, but I know that I'm There was another drop, so that we have Epoch 32 that just dropped. I have to claim that, and we're moving on to Epoch 38. I'm on a 38-day streak. And we'll see. I'm at about 24,000 epochs, hexes for this epoch or whatever, and I'm guessing it's 328. I got so many all-time hexes it doesn't even fit into the screen. You think they would fix that, but hey, 375 AI. If you're interested in getting into it, I have a code below because there was a waiting list at one point. But again, another free project. What I love about it, even on the Apple phone, it runs in the background. I don't mess with it. Every now and then, especially on long trips, I will bring it up to the forefront a couple of times just to check on it to make sure it's moving and it didn't get signed out or something. But other than that, it works in the background. That's what I like about it. So Combinder is a new one that I am just starting to get into. Passive crypto mining did a video. I caught it the other day. I know what y'all gonna say. This is just another. And some of the issue with depends is I made this kind of joke, but not a joke, on my video night before last, about who sits around at a planning out table and says, you know what, I think we need another weather station project. Yeah, I think ours will be successful, even though these other ones really took off. Like, who thinks about it? So Combiner is another smart plug. What I like about it right now is it costs nothing to get in the project. This is $20 on Amazon. I wanted smart plugs for my house. Some of them start getting ridiculous. But again, no, they got Pi-Fi or whatever these other ones are, and some of these other, whatever they are. Look, they have several smart plug projects out there. I'm not expecting everybody to go, oh my God, look at this one. This is a Combinder. You watch Passive Crypto Mining's video later this week. I'm going to try to do a video just so I can put it out while I'm down and out with this surgery, if I get time to do that. But I'm thinking, what the hell? What the hell? Y'all know I like to get into new projects because they have the airdrops. This one has airdrops and different quests you can do. And we'll see. There will be a video coming soon on that. This is what the Combinder site looks like. You can see where it says I have devices. It's been connected for this long. You can see that they got quest of what you can do. I set this up late last night, so that's probably why it only says 0 days. But hey, if y'all want to join in, please use my code. I'll have it on my Discord. I can put it in the description below. But again, it's early. You never know what you're going to get with early. But I've made 50 binds so far in 24 hours. But we have no idea what it's going to be worth. It's still in early. It's not even a Discord for this yet. So we're in this early. You get a chance to do it early, get into it early. And again, $20 for a smart plug from Shelly. That's who they have partnered with. And again, I'll have a code for the Shelly thing in Amazon and a code to get into this if y'all want to try it out with me. Again, why is this one better or different than some of these other smart plugs? I can't tell you. I haven't got that much research in. I'm not that familiar with these other ones. Supposedly this team is supposed to be really good, and they're kind of hitting it on a different way of selling their information. I've heard it all before. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Either way, I want a smart plug. I have an app on my phone that I can turn the plug off and stuff like that. I don't really have, for a geek like me, I don't really have a lot of those at my house. So I wanted to get more involved in these anyway. This works out. I'm in a new project. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens. What's the worst that's going to happen? The next is a project I have been involved in now for probably about a month or two. I have no idea what the earnings are in it. I'll be dead honest with you. I apologize to them, but I am in ONOCOY. Somebody brought it up the other day saying, hey, I thought on your live you mentioned you were dual mining ONOCOY and GEODNET. I am. And I don't know why I never put ONOCOY up there. ONOCOY confuses the hell out of me because you look at what some people are saying that this is still a testnet project and not TGE and stuff like that. Then you got people saying if you look on Radium or something, there is a price attached to it and it sucks. You can't have both, ladies and gentlemen. If there's no TGE yet and it's all testnet token or whatever, you can't go off that price. Now, again, I'm coming into this way late. Y'all can all slam me saying I'm wrong. But we saw this with grass, if you remember. Remember people were doing videos on grass before grass went live about you can put your tokens on this certain website and people can buy them and blah, blah, blah. And it was all BS. I don't know how ONOCOY is being traded unless it is TGE and on mainnet. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I don't have no numbers next to it. That's why eventually when I can figure out what we are truly making, it will go up here to one of these, levels. But we'll see. So I appreciate everybody. I put the number 1 and 2 up here. So number 1 and 2, GEODNET and Chirp. And that's this week. They're both actually, 5, 4, and actually Entropy. I guess we can put them up too because they technically tied for second. There you go. Now we look right. So first place, tied for second, and here we go. Again, Entropy is going to have their pre-mint tomorrow. I am planning on buying at least one pre-mint NFT now because I need that for an Entropy device coming in because I'm out of my NFTs that I already pre-minted. So before anybody asks me that question, I am I'm probably not buying any more Ashlers, but I'm also maxed out. You can only have like 5 per house. I might have 4 right now with 3 of the ESPs. That's giving me 7 devices. And I'm gonna sit back and earn nothing. And just go from there for now. So GEODNET, Chirp, same thing. At one time I kept saying I wanted to buy a Chirp Blackbird miner if they ever come out. When the NFTs come out, I don't even play the game with them because all they're doing is getting scalped, and I'm not playing that game. They need to rethink that also. Same thing with GEODNET. Having killed it, any thoughts on me getting a second device? And it's sad. My point is, with all this, what I'm saying, it's sad that your top 3 devices, you don't want to even invest any more in them because of different reasons. We'll see. So appreciate everybody for watching. Hopefully this was less than an hour. Try to get through some of this stuff. But again, we're up to 16 projects right now. 17 really. I still feel like I'm missing one. I can't keep up with them all. 17 projects right now that we're in. And one thing I try to tell people is, people like, I can't believe you're wasting your time and you're wasting your time on some of this stuff. Right now, and in fact, when you think about it, with all my entropies, I'm making, this is actually like close to that, not that we can cash it out, but this is like 20. So I'm making $34 a day right now. So while this sounds like crap, and this sounds like crap, and this sounds like crap, and this sounds like crap, just like I told you all in those previous videos, a bunch of little stuff comes together. It makes one bigger reward. How about that? So, to keep this real, it is that. But even if you keep it real, at 18, almost $20 a day, $20 a day is not bad at $600 a month. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see what happens with Silencio and NATIX now that you're going to have that drop at the end of the month. Hopefully tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. I'm hoping that gets done before my surgery so I can address it. But I thank everybody for watching. Again, I thank everybody for the support. We'll see what happens for Thursday and this weekend, and try to get back on and let everybody know I'm still around. Can't kill bad grass, but I don't want to challenge it either. I got bad luck. I got some bad luck. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But thank you all for watching. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody who's reached out. Again, join the Discord. Come join us. Come shoot the bull with us and stuff like that. Use my codes. Please help me out. My son's going to college. I'll know that next month. And, it helps support the channel when I'm trying to put stuff in here to be able to show you all different things like that. It helps me out. So, again, thank you all for support. Never thought I'd be where I'm at now. And we're going to continue trying to help everybody. That's what this channel is about. Trying to improve, trying to bring even more subscribers in. More people come in and more people come to Discord, can tell us about different things, and it helps everybody out. So thank y'all. See y'all next video.